So what's going on guys, Kate here and welcome back to a brand new video. For today I will show you everything that you need to know for Diablo Immortal. In the previous beta I played over 300 hours. And here's the most important information summarized in just one video. So if this sounds interesting to you, then let's get straight into it. So Diablo Immortal takes place between the events of Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, so you will find many similarities in the gameplay from both of these games. Many of the Diablo Immortal activities are designed to be small in size, so that means 4-player groups, and no matter if you're playing on PC or mobile, a single dungeon should usually take only about 10 to 15 minutes. The game is designed for touchscreen devices, with virtual controls that overlay the display. So for PC players, be aware that the gameplay and combat will be very similar to a mobile game. Then as for using skills, they feature auto-aim, generally towards the nearest enemy, but as well the player can manually aim each skill. Some abilities will also charge, while their skill button is held, which will increase its damage and AoE range. Unlike previous games in Diablo series, mana and other class-specific resources have been removed, in favor of a cooldown-based system. Performing attacks will also fill the character's ultimate meter, which when filled allows you to use one of your most powerful attacks. So when creating a character, you can select one of the game's 6 classes, called Barbarian, Wizard, Monk, Necromancer, Demon Hunter and Crusader. Each class has 12 unlockable skills, from which the player chooses 5 to use on his skill bar. Like in any other MMORPG, each few levels you will unlock another ability, so later in the game you can make your own builds and much more. So then the first class is Barbarian. If you want to be a Viking warrior that uses brutal attacks to crush his enemies, then this is the class for you. The Barbarian is usually a melee damage dealer that can buff his teammates in the endgame raids. This class is fast, with high AoE damage and with amazing group buffs, which will make you must-have in any group. Then the second class is Wizard. This is your traditional mage class. She can use magic to do damage from range, or you can turn her into a battle mage, or more up-close playstyle. Like in any game, the Wizards are one of the top DPS classes that can do damage from range and have bunch of AoE skills, but they are very squishy, and you have to play this class tactically or you can get one-shotted. Then the next one is Monk. He is a master of martial arts. He's a fast-paced fighter class that in PvE can deal quick hits and does pretty nice DPS. With the power of gods in his fist, the monk performs attacks together to destroy his enemies, resulting in a fast and agile melee fighting style. Overall, this is a very super cool class, but not very popular, and many players are sleeping on this one. This is the hardest class to play, but like in any game, in good player hands, the monk will be unstoppable. Then the next class is Necromancer, and for some reason, this is one of the most popular classes, at least in the beta. The Necromancer is a master of manipulating life and death, with strong AoE and crowd control abilities, as well as summons. He can do a bunch of damage, but usually players play this class as a support. The Necromancer can summon a lot of minions that basically do all the damage for you, so if you play on a phone or if you're looking for more chill gameplay, with just having to use few skills and summoning bunch of minions, then this is the class for you. In my opinion, Diablo Immortal is very balanced, so of course this goes without saying, but Necromancer is very good at what he does. Then for the 5th class we have the Demon Hunter, and he can do insane amount of damage to groups of enemies while moving around the battlefield at a safe distance, making him amazing for leveling, farming and endgame dungeons. The Demon Hunter is the best class for single target damage, which makes you very useful in group content. However, this is the slowest class in the game, so if you enjoy walking and shooting and you want to be the top 1 damage dealer in your group, then this is the class for you. But if you prefer a bit more mobility, then the Wizard with the skills like teleport is maybe a better option. And then for the last and final class we have the Crusader, which is the fastest class in the game, because of a single skill that gives you an ability to ride a horse, that gives you incredible movement speed and super fun playstyle. Crusaders are usually the tankiest players that enjoy being the first player in the group to pull all the enemies together and then do a bunch of damage. So if you don't mind not doing the highest damage but being a tank / support, then this is the class for you. So after you defeat enemies, you can open treasure chests and pick up dropped items from the ground. At the start you will encounter white, blue, yellow and orange items. As you can tell, white items are the worst quality and orange aka the legendary items are the best. So as you level, you want to go from white to blue to yellow and then lastly to full legendary. The way you build up attributes and stats for your class is by equipping gear with the specific attributes that you want to get. In general, there are 5 primary attributes in the game. All of them provide one offensive and defensive rating for each point you have, so any attribute that you get will make you stronger. But these attributes are not equally calculated for each class, so Barbarian will get more damage out of Strength, while the Wizard will get more out of Intelligence and much more. Players can also obtain items which are part of a set, and they are usually dropped from a specific location. If you get a matching set of 3 or 6 of these gear pieces, then these items will give you additional bonuses such as healing and movement speed. And then lastly, another great way to become more powerful is by upgrading your equipment. So what you want to do is go to the blacksmith and spend all of your salvaged materials. Don't worry about wasting materials on upgrading bad equipment, because you can transfer upgrades for free. Even if you end up salvaging upgraded equipment, you will receive 100% of the invested resources as a refund. So every time that you are in a town, remember to come back to the blacksmith and upgrade all of your yellow and orange equipment to at least rank 6. So then moving over to the gems, and you can find normal and legendary gems to further increase the power of your character. Gems can be added to a socketed piece of gear that increases its base stats. Normal gems provide increased stats such as strength or agility, while legendary gems also provide new capabilities by changing up your build and the way you play. For more endgame progression, you can upgrade legendary gems by visiting a jewel crafter in the West March. You will use runes, that is a drop that you can find in the Elder Rift, that you will be able to use to craft legendary gems. Charms are another way to customize your character in Diablo Immortal. They occupy their own gear slot and carry between 1 or 5 bonuses that increase the rank of your skills. During your leveling process, simply equip normal gems that you find for doing basic things, like dungeons, questing, open world content, and etc. If you can, you want to prioritize pink gem aka the tourmaline for more damage increase. Then second of all, get the blue gem aka the sapphire for more armor penetration. And then lastly, get the yellow gem aka the topaz for all resistance increase. All of these 3 gems are very good, but if you can, always try to get the damage increase first and then all the other ones later. And then lastly, for the second category, we have the legendary gems, and these are more rare, that can be obtained by doing Elder Rifts, crafting using runes and platinum resource. Then as well, you get them from the battle pass rewards and etc. Some of these legendary gems are more common than other ones, and they can be categorized by their star level, so 1 star, 2 stars and 5 stars. Every single legendary gem will unlock another attribute. As you can tell, 5-star gems are more powerful than 1 star or 2 star, so whenever you get one of these, you will likely want to put it in your main build. Like we already discussed the equipment upgrading, you can as well rank up your gems, which will increase their ODR aka the offensive and defensive rating. In order to rank up, you will need to acquire duplicates of the same gem and use gem power. You can get the gem power by breaking down any legendary gem with high star and rank. So Diablo Immortal, like almost any MMORPG, has a battle pass, where players can receive a bunch of rewards to improve their gaming experience. The standard battle pass is free to all players, while the empowered battle pass and shop require for you to spend real life money to obtain their rewards. The battle pass is an amazing source of materials and resources that can boost the power of your character in many different ways. Along with this, each rank will reward you with a huge amount of experience. This is very useful as you level up your character. The free version of the battle pass is available once you reach level 10. An empowered version of this will also be available to purchase with real life money. By purchasing the empowered battle pass, you will unlock another row of rewards that are available after each rank, and they will give you the double of the bonuses of a standard battle pass. Overall, there is no need to spend your real life money on a game, but if you ever decide to do so, then this is the best place, where your $5 for the empowered battle pass will be definitely worth it. At rank 10, every class is presented with 6 legendary items that you can choose. So for Barbarian, the best item is the Remembered, because it buffs the Hammer of the Ancient skill. The Spirit of the Ancients constantly hits enemies, which will help with a single target DPS, and keeping active your Massacre bonuses to gain more experience. And on top of that, the Spirit helps to distract approaching monsters, while you finish a story objective without being interrupted. Then for the Crusader, I recommend the passive of the 10 Wing, because it makes one of your most important skills even more powerful. Then for the Demon Hunters, pick the Hungerer, because it makes the crossbow shot, which is one of your most important skills, pierce and deal a lot more damage. Then for the Monk, I recommend taking the Gigant's Indignation, because this will make one of your abilities be able to set the enemies on fire. Then for the Necromancer, get the Baleful Trinity, because it makes one of your primary attacks even more powerful. And then lastly for the wizard, get the siphon, because the movement speed is important while leveling, so this will be a very nice addition to have. So then let's move over to the leveling guide, and in Diablo Immortal, leveling up is a journey that you can approach with your own playstyle. The primary way that you level is by going through the main storyline and completing each and every zone's quest. Once you reach a new area, you may encounter a message that says you must reach X level before continuing. So then there are two ways that you can level. The best way to level up, not counting the main quest and storyline, is to advance your battle pass. Two ways that you can do that is by running dungeons efficiently without stopping and only salvaging items when your bag is at full. Or then the second best way is if you don't feel like spending your entire time in a dungeon, then you can complete every task and hidden layer that you see while doing main quests. And these hidden layers are random caves that you can enter and complete for easy gems, extra rewards and experience. So then let's go over a few tips and tricks that you need to keep in mind while leveling. Early on in the battle pass, you can choose one legendary for your class. I recommend taking each item that I mentioned in the previous part of the video. Then remember to find better equipment for your character. Your bag flashes when you pick up better items, so keep an eye for that while leveling. Then as well keep upgrading your equipment at the blacksmith. I recommend to turn on auto pickup for all items in the settings, and once in a while return to the town to salvage. Then don't forget that each class has their best skill combos, so if you use them in a specific order, then they will do a lot more damage. So I recommend watching my class guides, where I covered each and every single class in depth. And then lastly, you want to unlock helliquary at level 41. The helliquary is a unique addition to Diablo Immortal. It's a great source of offensive and defensive rating increase that becomes even more important after level 60. So at around level 41, you should be able to unlock it by completing the Bilefen, then follow your quest to the West March, and there you can unlock the helliquary. And you want to do this so you can start receiving the Scoria resource from your daily bounties as soon as possible. So in Diablo Immortal, you can play alone or with any other adventurer that you will see as you explore the world. Each zone can host dozens of other players with whom you can join forces to fight the larger scale zone events and special quests that require multiple participants. If you encounter anyone that you want to adventure with, then you have options to create a party for up to 4 players to continue the fun, or to form a clan to unlock even more social activities. One of the most fun PvE activities is the bestiary system that adds to the lore of Diablo Immortal and rewards you with loot. So basically, after you complete the early part of the main storyline, while leveling your character, you will find missing pages that describe the different monsters you fight, and all of them are separated into 3 categories called unique, rare and common. When you find one of these pages, you will receive free gold, items and battle points. Then the next activity that you can do are bounties, and these are some of the most rewarding activities in Diablo Immortal. Similar to Diablo 3, they are very short quests that you can complete in open world areas or dungeons, and all daily missions can be done in about 30 to 45 minutes. So this is a nice activity that you can do every day. But if for some reason you can't log in every day, then there's a system that allows you to save all bounties for 3 days, and then complete them on the 3rd day. Then we have the challenging rifts, which in Diablo Immortal are dungeons where you clear levels of monsters. Each level will further increase the difficulty. Pushing up levels is fun and challenging, with very useful rewards, making this activity very rewarding. And then most importantly, there will be public leaderboards, so players will be able to compete against other players, and your rank on the leaderboards will determine on your reward quantity. And then besides all the basic activities like normal quests, zone events and etc., we have the raids and dungeons. This activity is the core of the PvE gameplay, where you go in dark caves and fight other monsters till you find the endgame boss and defeat him, which then in return will give you super cool rewards and much more. Normal dungeons you can do by yourself or with a group, and for now there are 7 dungeons, each one with their unique design and strategies. So Diablo Immortal has 3 different factions: Adventurers, Shadows and Immortals. The Adventurer faction doesn't need to be chosen, because it is what you start with by default. Being a part of any faction does not lock you out from any group content. There are no exclusive activities, so anyone can do everything regardless of a faction. Generally, you want to join one of the other 2 factions, which are the Shadows or Immortals, and you want to do this as soon as possible to get the access to their specific endgame activities and rewards. And as an adventurer, you will be only rewarded with bonus gold for completing certain amounts of bounties weekly, which is not very useful for progressing your character. So the Immortal faction represents the most powerful players in Diablo Immortal. There is one ruler of all of them, which is known as the Immortal. There are limited limited numbers of slots available, and you can only join by being a part of one of the 3 immortal clans. If you can't get invited, then you and your clan need to join the Shadows to fight the immortals for their position of the power. So in a quick summary, there are 3 factions. Everyone starts as an adventurer, and if you join top tier clans and play with other players, then you can participate in specific events where you can fight with other players to become the immortal faction. So again, everyone starts at the adventurer, then the best top 3 clans become immortals, aka the kings of the server, while the rest of the clans become shadows, and then shadows and immortals fight constantly to overthrow each other and become the new king, aka the immortal, and that's about it. So then going over to Diablo Immortal PvP, and there's an activity called Battlegrounds, that is an 8v8 event that is available for 2 hours every day. There's a matchmaking rating system that places you on a team based on your games played and win rate. And most importantly, all of this is solo queue, so you can form a party before playing this game mode. The main idea for players is that you split into 2 teams, attackers and defenders. Attackers have to destroy the ancient heart, while the defenders have to protect it, and whichever team succeeds in their mission will win the match. Then the second activity that you can do in Diablo Immortal is the Ancient Arena, that opens up every 3 hours. And this game mode is a free-for-all PvP event, where all players fight each other till the last man standing will win. So overall, the PvP is only possible in these specific PvP events, and you won't have access to healing potions, but instead you get to use bandages outside of a combat. Bunch of your PvE builds and skills will do a lot less damage against players, so you will have to customize your character specifically for PvP, and much more. Overall, doing PvP in this game is not required, but if you do them, you will be able to have fun by fighting other players and getting pretty nice rewards. The battleground matchmaking works with multiple servers, so no matter if you're playing night or day, you will always find players to play with. So then as you start gaining paragon levels after hitting level 60, each level will give you 1 paragon point that you can allocate into any open category. In total there are 5 categories, and each one gives you more defense, XP bonuses and much more. So then for every single class, right after you reach max level and start gaining paragon levels, you want to invest your points into the Vanquisher category and spend your first 5 points into the first damage node, then spend your 6 point into the Zeal node, then spend your next 25 points into the second damage node, then spend your next point into the Wrath, and then spend the last 10 points into the Potency node. This paragon system is meant for endgame, but no matter if you are full damage dealer or a support, usually for all players, the first 40 to 50 paragon points will be spent in this exact same order. So here you go. So with that said, I really do appreciate everyone for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, feedback or other good Diablo Immortal topics or new player guides that you would like to see in the next video, then feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below. And while you're doing that, please click like, subscribe and enable that notification bell, so this way you could support the channel and you won't miss any more amazing content from me. With all this said, you have a nice day and I will see you in my next video. So take it easy, peace.